Digital Immortality, Vanishing Purpose.
Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, said this in a recent interview. Let me tell you why I think it's superior. It's digital, and because it's digital, you can simulate a neural network on one piece of hardware and you can simulate exactly the same neural network on a different piece of hardware. So you can have clones of the same intelligence. Now you can get this one to go off and look at one bit of the internet and the other one look at a different bit of the internet. And while they look at these bits of the internet, they can be syncing with each other. So they keep their weights the same, the connection strengths the same. Weights are connection strengths. So this one might look at something on the internet and say, oh, I'd like to increase this strength of this connection a bit. And it can convey that information to this one. So it can increase the strength of that connection a bit based on this one's experience. That's learning, yes. Learning consists of saying instead of this one giving 2.4 votes for whether that one should turn on, we'll have this one give 2.5 votes for whether this one should turn on. And that will be a little bit of learning. So these two different copies of the same neural net are getting different experiences, they're looking at different data, but they're sharing what they learned by averaging their weights together. And they can do that averaging at you can average 1 trillion weights. When you and I transfer information, we're limited to the amount of information in a sentence. And the amount of information in a sentence is maybe 100 bits. It's very little information. We're lucky if we're transferring 10 bits a second. These things are transferring trillions of bits a second. So they're billions of times better than us at sharing information. And that's because they're digital, and you can have 2 bits of hardware using the connection strengths in exactly the same way. We're analoging, you can't do that. Your brain's different from my brain. And if I could see the connection strengths between all your neurons, it wouldn't do me any good because my neurons work slightly differently and they're connected up slightly differently. So when you die, all your knowledge dies with you. When these things die, suppose you take these 2 digital intelligences that are clones of each other, and you destroy the hardware they run on. As long as you've stored the connection strength somewhere, you can just build new hardware that executes the same instructions. So it'll know how to use those connection strengths, and you've recreated that intelligence. So they're immortal. We've actually solved the problem of immortality, but it's only for digital things. AI is already astonishingly powerful, with systems capable of generating human-like text, images, music, and even scientific discoveries. In the next 1 to 2 years, it is realistic to expect AI to become even more deeply embedded in daily life. Personal assistants will anticipate our needs and automate complex tasks. AI will drive advances in medicine, from drug discovery to personalized treatment. Creative industries will see AI county authors, designers, and composers become the norm. Businesses will rely on AI for everything from customer service to logistics, making operations faster and more efficient. Geoffrey Hinton says we may see AGI, super AI, in 10 to 20 years. Based on other sources, I believe in the next 1 or 2 decades, we may see human-level or superhuman AI in many crucial cognitive domains. Entire industries transformed or replaced by AI-driven automation, with services and products greatly differing from what is offered today. AI agents negotiating, collaborating, and competing on behalf of individuals and organizations. The potential for AI to solve, or worsen, global challenges such as climate change, disease, and inequality. This fills my brain with all sorts of questions. Work and purpose, would there be UBI? If yes, for those who work for breadwinning and bind their identity to it, when they suddenly have so much more free time, what would they do to fill all that time? Will people find fulfillment in new hobbies, passions, or community roles, or drift into a void of purposelessness? Parenting, of course, it would be good if they spent more time watching their kids grow. But what dreams and ambitions would they encourage their kids to have, when doctor, lawyer, engineer, and teacher jobs are fulfilled by only the handful, the top 1%? Would the old dream, just be happy, truly become a realistic mass pursuit? Post-work identity, meaning and relationships. When ordinary people have not much to do and not much to pursue, would their meaning be just about sensory pleasure seeking? In that case, would monogamy still make sense? A place for those neither early nor late when the Godfather, the main brain who drove AI to where it is today, suggests young people learn to become a plumber, and the older generation is ready to leave the stage with a filled pocket. Where would the younger generations, whose identity and dignity are defined mostly by profession and social status, find their place?